We are one of the 3 hospitals in the Rockford area that serves the community, and we are one of the level 1 trauma centers here, so we deal with the major traumas in the area. My name is Erin English, and I am a clinical laboratory scientist at St. Anthony Medical Center. If you go to your doctor's office or the hospital and you get any blood drawn, we are the ones that are doing the testing on that blood. So we look at the cells that are in the blood, we look at the chemicals that are in the blood, and we look to see if it's affecting organ function, and it helps doctors diagnose the patients with any kind of problems with that. We also, if say someone comes into the hospital and it's trauma and they're losing a lot of blood, we're the ones that bring up the blood bags to that trauma, and we're the ones that make sure that that blood is safe to give to the patients. We're also the ones that will test if you have a wound infection and the doctor wants to know, what is causing that infection. We're the ones that do the testing for that and find out what antibiotics that they can use and what medications they can use to heal that wound. I actually, like most of everybody here, has probably never even thought about what happens to their blood after it's drawn. Originally, I went to school to just do biology in general, so I hadn't really thought about this even as a existing position. I think that liking science is number one. I was really interested in biology and physics and chemistry, so that lent itself to this job. I also think that problem solving is a really important thing. We do that on the daily basis, troubleshooting things, and I really love to do that, so that is also very helpful in this position. I would say definitely take as many science classes as you can to see if you like it. I also really liked math too, but that's not as needed in our field. Also, if you want to help people, we are kind of the people in the background that are doing that. So, if you're somebody that doesn't necessarily want to see patients on an everyday basis, but still get that feeling that you're helping someone, this is a great role to do that too.
My name is Michaela Dean, and I am the supervisor of the off shift of the clinical laboratory. I am over the PM phlebotomy, the PM shift techs, and then also the night shift techs. And I make their schedules, I make sure everything's going all right, make sure all the communication between managers and techs is kind of all on the same page, and just kind of be there to answer any questions and be that lead tech. I mean, this can be your end-all field where you can specialize in any one of the many departments we have, whether it be like a histology where you're looking at all the specimens, like the tissue types, or you can go into blood bank and be a specialty over there and work really close on transfusions of patients who are very ill. Or if you could use the degree to, if I really wanted to, I could go back in and do the vet school opportunity, because it's such a good, versatile degree. You can take it and go on to other medical fields, or I've even had friends who've gone and taken it into like a forensic degree, or really anything, because you can take this laboratory experience anywhere. I think being very organized, being able to multitask is something that's very important, and just overall having an interest in like the science and the biology, and being one of those people who always has to know all the answers and asks the whys and the whens to everything that they're ever asked. It's very active, it's very busy, especially on our off shift when we don't have as many people in one area. It really is just us. So it is a lot of computer work and a lot of understanding kind of how the computer works, how to get those results through, on top of how to run those tests and what looks right versus what looks wrong. But I mean, average day could be just coming in and running around like a crazy person for the whole day, or it could really be an entire day behind the computer. So it very much depends on the hospital's capacity at that time. I would say definitely to go out there and try it. It can be something you try for a year or two, and because it is such that versatile degree, you can take that and move on. If you decide, what, I'm not really a medical field person, or this really isn't my thing, you've now built up that experience to take your degree elsewhere, and you can kind of keep pursuing those passions elsewhere.
Sarah Champion, and I'm laboratory manager. I work at OSF St. Anthony Medical Center. So in my role, I am the laboratory manager over hematology, chemistry, and I watch over the med techs, the instrumentation that we have. I do the hiring and training for the lab staff that we have. Yeah, as a manager, I spend a lot of time behind a desk. I do also go out into the laboratory, but I don't have as much of a technical role anymore. So I more oversee the technical staff that are running the tests and run it from the office. Spend a lot of time talking with other managers or doctors or other departments from the hospital, coordinating what their needs are from the laboratory. So I graduated from NIU with a degree in medical laboratory sciences. That's an MLS degree. It's a 4-year degree, but it's not necessary to be a lab tech. You can also get a 2-year associate's degree, which is medical laboratory technician degree, which is also available at some of the community colleges around. A lot of math, sciences, chemistry, biology, anatomy and physiology. Being a good problem solver, being able to love puzzles, because a lot of what we get is we don't get to see the whole patient outlook. We might just see a sample from the patient. So being able to take that sample, run tests on it, and give the doctors and nurses the information that they need to treat the patient. Study up on their math and science, and to look at the different introductory careers, because there are some introductory careers for the laboratory. Phlebotomy they can get into with a introductory class. It's a 15-week class for phlebotomy, and that is one way to get started in the lab. They are the ones that actually do the blood draws and collect the samples. And then there's also the MLT, or Medical Laboratory Technician degree, and that's a 2-year degree, and then the Medical Laboratory Sciences is a 4-year degree.